Video shows the moment a cargo ship plowed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge. CBS News has confirmed the massive container ship lost propulsion before impact.
The entire bridge, the entire Key Bridge is in the harbor.
Between the Mayday and the collapse, that we had officials who were able to begin to stop the flow of traffic.
Incident occurred, so some people have been asking, were the pilots drowsy? Were they traveling for too long? But that doesn't really seem like that's going to come into play here, since it was in the very beginning of their trip.
All right, just such a tragic story, an incident.
Were on the bridge at the time of the collapse, but the number of people inside each of those vehicles is still the question that they're trying to answer right now. Good news so far this morning is at least 2 people have been rescued so far. One of them had no injuries, the other one taken to the hospital with very serious injuries. And the ship, all the crew members on the ship have been accounted for, including 2 harbor pilots. So right now the FBI is investigating to determine what exactly caused the collision, but they say right now that there is no indication that this happened intentionally.
974-foot cargo ship called the DALI left Baltimore Harbor about 20 minutes before the crash. At one point, crew members on board notified state officials that the ship had lost propulsion and that hitting the bridge was possible. Video shows most of the lights on the ship going out just before the accident. Officials say the workers on the bridge were repairing potholes. A facility has been set up with mental health professionals for family members to deal with this tragedy.
Take a look, Casey. You can see chunks of the bridge, the Key Bridge that tumbled down toward the water, still on the deck of that shipping container.
Officials saying very clearly that at this point they have no indication that this was terrorism. What do you make of officials being able to make that claim at this point, also knowing, of course, the FBI is on the scene and involved in this investigation?
At 12:28 a.m., the ship, the DALI, unmoors from the port of Baltimore heading to Sri Lanka. At 1:24 a.m., the cargo ship's lights flicker as it navigates along the Patapsco River. 2 minutes later, the ship drifts off course towards the pillar. The crew issues a mayday, prompting officials to block traffic at both ends of the bridge.
Hold all traffic on the Key Bridge. There's a ship approaching. It just lost their steering.
Authorities say the DALI dropped its anchor as part of emergency procedures after losing propulsion. At 1:27 a.m., the crash and the quick collapse. Daylight reveals the stunning sight of the lost bridge, the wreckage in the harbor, and the all-hands-on-deck search and rescue efforts.